I wanted to see if I could create an unkillable juggernaut with the Shieldmaiden in Halls of Torment. Spoiler alert, I could. Let's go on a journey. My idea behind this build is simple. I want to work off the Shieldmaiden's strength. The Shieldmaiden gains both defensive and offensive benefits from scaling block, seeing as her shield deals more damage based off of block strength. Block in general has a chance to negate damage below certain values, and defense reduces the overall damage that you take. In theory, this means that block also gains benefit from defense, seeing as each hit against you deals less damage, meaning that there's a higher chance for that hit to be blocked. That's the core idea of this build. For traits, I would of course always prioritize block and defense. Block comes first in line, seeing as that also increases my damage. If I didn't get a block or defense trait, I would just pick whatever would help me deal more damage. I will be using all charges of the Reverberant Tincture on the Bulwark trait for a total of 6 stacks. This will increase my defense by 60% while also giving me a total of 18 block strength. I did some math and concluded that this is by far the most effective use of this potion. This will take my damage reduction above 80%. In the shrine I did of course level up defense and block to the max, and I removed revives as needing those would mean that I'm not unkillable. I put the rest of my gold into blessings that synergize well with the Shieldmaiden, like cone size, range, attack speed and damage. Before going all out, I wanted to do a few test runs without abilities to see how far the Shieldmaiden can be pushed on her own. On my first run I went with a build that looks like this. The idea was to maximize block and have the Fencer gauntlets help me with extra attacks, seeing as I'll hopefully be blocking a ton. I haven't found a helmet yet, so I had to go with the hood for extra defense and health. I also picked the Jade Amulet to level up and cap out my stats earlier, and crit rings to help with damage. The run went rather well. I maxed out my defense at the 102, giving me 83% damage reduction and my block at 98. I was blocking a ton at this point, and enemies that got through my defenses barely hit me for 10 damage. I could most likely easily have defeated the Lord on this run, but instead I wanted to push the limits by running into all enemies. My high block and defense was not enough to keep me alive. The build was not unkillable, so I had to go back to the drawing board. On my next few runs I tried swapping out different gear pieces. I tried the Defiant plate that gives me +3 to defense for 5 seconds after I take damage, and the Elven slippers that increases my block when I move, but it didn't help. I still wasn't unkillable. Lastly, I tried a build focusing on out-healing the damage I take with the Blood-Soaked Shirt and Bloodcatcher necklace, but it still didn't make the Shieldmaiden completely unkillable on her own. I did however feel like this last combination was going to be the winner, so I finalized my build that ended up looking like this. The idea here is to out-heal the damage that I take. The Blood-Soaked Shirt should statistically heal me for 1 HP for every 3 enemies I kill. The Bloodcatcher heals me for 1 HP every time I deal 100 times my maximum HP. Because of this I replaced the hood with the Fighter's Headband to reduce my HP and instead give me extra healing after killing elites and bosses. There's an elite or a boss roughly every 3 to 4 minutes in the Forgotten Viaducts, so this should help keep me topped up. I also removed the health capacity upgrade in the Shrine of Blessing to lower my HP even more. Having less HP means the Bloodcatcher will heal me more often. With the Hood and Blessing active I'll have to deal 60,000 damage to heal 1 HP, but with these I only need to deal 40,000 damage to heal 1 HP. I also won't pick any traits that increase my health. Let's see how this works out. The build destroyed. Like any build, it took some time to get going, but by the time I got halfway through the stage I was able to just walk straight through enemies without any problems. Any damage I took I would out heal. Just look at the working speed of that Bloodcatcher and Blood-Soaked Shirt. They're almost constantly healing me. I will admit that I was pushing my luck a little close with the ghosts, but for every other enemy type this worked out just perfectly. The build was at its absolute peak whenever the enemy density was high, and the last wave of enemies especially didn't even stand a chance. The little damage I took was quickly out healed. I also had extreme luck and got just the abilities I wanted for this run. Astronomer's Orbs with Electrified Orbs and Inner Orbit, Radiant Aura with Punitive Light and Sacred Flame, Dragon's Breath with Stream of Fire. For abilities I mainly focus on taking traits that would increase their damage while making their size and range as small as possible. I wanted all that damage as close to me as I could. With this I could move freely through enemies without ever worrying about dying, except to those damn ghosts. Even the Lord wasn't an issue, and I was still dealing enough single target damage to consistently heal with the Bloodcatcher. To summarize the build, you will want to equip this. For traits, you get everything that has block and defense. Don't get any traits that increase health. Get anything that increases damage with a priority on attack speed. Pray that you get Astronomer's Orbs, Radiant Aura and Dragon's Breath and all their upgrades. Now you can destroy everything without worrying about dying. Except to ghosts. This is the most fun I've had with making a Halls of Torment video so far, and I will definitely be making more of these build videos. If you haven't already, I would urge you to check out my class and character guide where I go over the basics of how to play every class.